Guys, today we're talking about using formulas to solve equations. Again, we're going to do harder problems though. So here's the problem. The length of each side of an equilateral triangle is 5 centimeters more than the length of each side of a square. What's an equilateral triangle? What's that word equilateral mean? The same, all the sides are the same. So equilateral triangle, and what do you know about square? Yeah, all the sides are the same. Okay. So the square, so which one's bigger though by the directions? The triangle or the square? The length of each side of an equilateral triangle is 5 centimeters more than the length of each side of a square. Which one's bigger? Ooh, no, read the directions. Nope, doesn't. That's the interesting part. Let's read again. The length of each side of an equilateral triangle, the length of each side of that triangle is 5 meters more than the length of each side of the square. Which one's bigger? The triangle, yeah. So let's label it up. The square is going, since the square has all the same sides, we're going to label each side x. And we're also going to write that down because there's going to be lots of stuff that we're going to need to keep track of. X equals side of square. Yep, x is going to be the side of the square. Okay, so how much bigger was the side of a triangle? 5. So that's going to be, then each side of the triangle is going to be x plus 5. So x plus 5 equals side of a triangle. And I don't like writing out triangle, I just like drawing a shape. All right, now we talked about lots of things yesterday, especially perimeters. It says the perimeters of the two figures are equal. How do you find perimeter? Add up all the sides. But let's do it. Let's split our page up so we can keep track of stuff. So what's the perimeter of this triangle? Close. It's not x plus 15 because we got 3 of these, right? Each side. Ah, the perimeter for this triangle is going to be 3x plus 15. That's for the triangle. How about for the square? Yeah. The perimeter for the square, right? We got to add up each of the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the perimeter for the square is going to be 4x. Nice. Okay. Now we got all the stuff that I think we need listed down for those shapes. We've got everything all labeled up. Now it's time to try and create our equation that we're going to use, and then we're going to solve it. So it said the perimeters are equal. So what do you do? How does that help you? How does that help you link the problem together? 7x plus 15. What, tell me why you're adding them, Tyrana. Like where in the directions? What specific words gave you the clue, the keys to do that? That's what I'm looking for. Take a look in the problem. Here's what we're doing. We're going to be like detectives here. Find the words in the problem that help you link all of this information together and create an equation to solve it. Suleima. The perimeters of the two figures are equal. It says that in the directions. So here's what you do. You take the perimeter of the triangle and set it equal to the perimeter of the square. That's the equation we're looking for. Yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do. Right? Okay, and then in the next part, right, you create that equation. Now we're going to solve the equation. 3x plus 15 equals 4x. We're going to solve it. You know, we've been doing this now for a couple of days, subtracting 3x from each side. Cancels away. You get 15 equals 1x. Right? That was easy. Are we done? No. It's never that easy in this class, right? It's never that easy. So 1x equals 15. Now you got to read, because it's a word problem, read the word problem. What are they asking us to find in the end? Yep, the lengths of the side of the square and the lengths of the side of the triangle. So how does this ultimately help us find how much each side is worth? Tell me. Alexis, you just plug it back in. Excellent. Yeah, we're going to plug in right here. 15 is equal to x, so 15 equals the side of the square, right? Piece of cake. How about over here? 15 plus 5, and so that's equal to 20. 20 equals the side of the triangle. We should like circle it up so that whoever's grading your exam can tell. Right? There you go. That's it. That's what we do. Let's start. Let's start. Question number 30. The length of a rectangle exceeds its width by 4 feet. If the width is doubled and the length is increased by 2, a new rectangle is formed. So it sounds like, just from that simple business, I'm not sure really what's going on, but it sounds like we have two separate rectangles, right? Yeah. Nah, man. It sounds like we have one original rectangle, and then all of a sudden we increase or decrease them, and we get a new one. Right? There you go. Does that make sense? Let me read to you once again what it is that I've drawn. The length of a rectangle, okay, it's saying that there's a rectangle, exceeds its width by 4 feet. If the width is doubled and the length is decreased, okay, something happens, then a new rectangle gets formed. Okay, so there's two of them. All right, that's what I did. Now we got to try and fill it in. The length of a rectangle exceeds its width by 4 feet. That's okay. So the length of a rectangle exceeds its width by 4 feet. The length of a rectangle exceeds its width by 4 feet. Which one's bigger, the length or the width? Come on, let's read. The length of a rectangle exceeds its width by 4 feet. Yeah, the length. So here's our original rectangle, right? Our original rectangle has some kind of width. And then how much bigger is the length? 4 feet. It's the width plus 4 more feet. That's how much its length is. Yeah, there's our original. Not bad. Not bad. Maybe we should mark that down also. W, so we don't lose track of stuff. W equals the width. And W plus 4 equals the length. Right? Because the length is 4 feet longer than the width. And then we got our new. Then we have our new rectangle. What happened to our new rectangle? Let's see. The width is doubled. What's doubled mean? Yeah, it means times by 2. It's twice as big. So in our new rectangle, the widths are 2W. And then what happened to our length? It decreased by how much? It decreased by 2. So what's our new length? Close. Close. It's the original one. It's the original one decreased by 2. So how much is that? Yeah, W plus 2. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Okay, all right. That was close. You were right on track, buddy. You were right on track. So this one right here is going to be W plus 2 and W plus 2. Yeah. Yeah, because if we took away 2 from our original rectangle, then we get W plus 2. Yeah? So now let's write down what each one of these is. 2W equals new width, and W plus 2 equals new length. All right. We're just charting stuff down. Remember that? All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else are they talking about in this thing? Oh, a new rectangle is formed whose perimeter is 8 feet more than the perimeter of the original. Okay, so we should probably list down the perimeters of each one of them because that's what it says next in the directions. How do you find perimeter again? Oh, okay, okay. So let me just put a marker here. We're going to keep stuff sectioned off. So perimeter, our perimeter of our original rectangle is like W plus W plus W plus 4 plus W plus 4. All I did was add up all the sides. And so when I add them all up, I think I get like 1, 2, 3, 4 W's plus 8. Let's do it for the other one. Perimeter for the other one is going to be 2W plus 2W plus W plus 2 plus W plus 2. And that's going to be 2, 4, 5, 6W plus 4. So now we have all this stuff listed down. We got all of our notes taken. Let's read. It says, if the width is doubled and the length is decreased by 2 feet, a new rectangle is formed whose perimeter is 8 feet more than the perimeter of the original. 8 feet more than the perimeter. So you have these two perimeters, right? Here's the perimeter of one of them. 4, W plus 8. You have the perimeter of the other one, 6W plus 4. You really want to set them equal to each other. How can you do that? Which one's bigger? No. I think the new one is bigger. Oh, yeah. Let's see. In the directions, I think it says a new rectangle is formed whose perimeter is 8 feet more. So this guy over here in the green is 8 feet more than the one in the red. How can you set them equal to each other? What would you have to do to make them equal? This guy over here is 8. No, this one over here is 8 more than this. How can I set them equal to each other? What would you have to do? You could do that. What would you have to do to make them equal? What are we going to subtract by? You could either subtract 8 from this one, or you could add 8 to this one, and then the two quantities would be the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? Dude, this one is heavier. This side is heavier by 8, right? Forget this. Forget this sign over here. This stuff in green is heavier by 8. How could you make this one and this one equal? What kind of stuff would you have to do? Subtract or add. Give me one of them to do. Very nice. Yeah. Check this out. If I add 8 to this one, then the two quantities are equal. You hear what I'm saying? You do want them to be equal because then you get an equation like this, and this helps you solve the problem. Alexis, you always want to find a way to set two quantities equal to each other because then you can kind of figure out how much the variable is. Let's solve this problem right here, and then we'll be done. Oh my gosh, this is an easy one to solve, right? I mean, we're going to subtract 4W from each side. (16) equals 2W plus 4. We're going to subtract 4 from each side. (2W equals 12. We're going to divide by 2 on each side. Yeah. 6 equals W. Are we done? Of course not, because these problems are hard. Let's read at the end. Find the dimensions of the original rectangle. Wow, look at all the work that we just did. Find the dimensions of the original rectangle. So which one are we looking for? Are we looking for the stuff in green or the stuff in red? Red! Yeah, definitely. We're looking for the stuff in red, right? The dimensions of the original rectangle. And how much did we find W was? W was 6. So 6 equals the width. And how much is the length? Yeah, because 6 plus 4 equals the length. Whoa. I almost spelled length wrong. Shame on me. And there's our answer. That's what we're looking for.